Guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and you guys are gonna like this one. It is the strongest defensive deck in the game right now, according to Faust, who's actually won a ton, a German pro, who's won a ton of my private tournaments that I host every single day with a lot of pro players. He's currently 74th in the world, and he's inside a grand challenge right now, live for us. This deck is so strong, but I have a couple really important pro tips for you guys from Faust to share with you before we get into the play-by-play. Number one is minor on this deck. It's more of a beatdown deck. Think of it more as a defensive beatdown deck. So in single-time Elixir, you're going to be playing incredibly conservatively. You're not going to be going all out on these big pushes, and you're really not going to be using much minor chip damage. Just minor chip is not a huge part of this deck as it normally is in, say, a minor poison deck. This is a defensive deck. Think defensive slash beat down in double elixir time. You can really defend against anything with this deck with the power of the Goblin Cage, the Giant Skeleton, the Ice Wizard, the Baby D, and of course the nado. So it's a really, really powerful deck in that regard. So, other tip from Faust before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Minor defense. There we go. Sorry, guys. I gotta write this stuff down before time, right? So, minor on defense is actually used more than chip. So, more than minor chip is minor kind of used as a knight replacement in a deck like this. So, those are the things you're gonna want to think of when you're playing the deck. Minor defensively, and of course, as I mentioned, not a lot of chip, defensive first 2 minutes. So, here we go into the match here about halfway through. We have Giant Skeleton at the bridge. We have Ice Wizard in tow here. Lumberjack comes down from the opponent, so going against a new meta-ish bridge spam. Look at all those legendary cards, man. That ought to make some of my free-to-play viewers cringe right now. Check out that deck. Inferno D, Ram Rider, Lumberjack, Magic Archer, and Bandit. Are we going to get the death damage on the tower? We are not, unfortunately, but we are able to stymie that Ram Rider using the Goblin Cage. Now we have to respond to this Bandit and the Inferno D as well. Bandit is down before she can get to the tower, so here we go. Already in double elixir time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can pull off one of those big beatdown pushes. Now we can start going in a little bit more aggressively with that minor taking for that Ice Wiz. And then here it comes. It's going to be Giant Skeleton behind our Princess Tower. We have Baby D, we have nado in hand, we also have Goblin Cage. The Goblin Cage is played there. Going to stymie that Ram Rider and the Lumberjack, so here comes one of our big pushes. And of course, we do have Balloon and Cycle. We don't know what spell the opponent has. Now we do. It's Fireball. So here it comes. Balloon is down. We have Minor in hand. Let's see. We send in the Minor on the tower. We do. What can they do to stop this balloon? Snowball will do the trick. We nado. Beautiful nado there. We do connect with that balloon. Death damage lands now. Bring the tower all the way down to 496 HP. 1 second left. And did I mention the deck was strong defensively? Check out our HP on our towers here inside this first match, guys. Looking pretty healthy right now as we enter about 10-15 seconds here into sudden death overtime. Again, we're going to stop that Ram Rider using the prowess of the Goblin Cage, and then Zap comes down, buying a little bit of extra time, keeping that Giant Skeleton alive there. Goblin Brawler makes his way in front. No, I guess he doesn't make his way in front, but check out the Giant Skeleton bomb. Boom! See you later, Ram Rider. And it looks like the balloon's going to get to the tower, and it does connect. GG Faust. Making it look easy there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into the next match. Alright guys, inside match number 10 here inside this grand challenge. I apologize for my scattered brainness in the beginning of the video. It's actually 6:30 a.m. my time at the time of this recording. I am taking off in a plane later on this afternoon. I will be traveling for a few days here on business, and I'm not used to recording this early in the morning, so I apologize if I'm not on my A game today. Anyway, we're going against Lava Hound here in match number 2, about 30 seconds in, set up with a Goblin Cage here on defense. And we'll see what the opponent's playing. Is it going to be Lava Clone, or is it going to be Lava Miner, or Lava Loon? All three Lava Hound decks right now pretty much meta. Cycling that Miner in the left lane, trying to get to our air targeting cards, and now we have a Baby D and Ice Wiz on the board. And here comes a Lumberjack, so it might be Lava Clone. We play a Giant Skeleton to kind of stymie that push there. Clone comes down, indeed it is. Let's see how this Giant Skeleton bomb does. Boom! Gonna take out a lot of that push. Baby D still does get onto our tower, taking it down to 1753. So here it is, my most hated deck in the game, Lava Clone. Let's see how Faust does against Lava Clone. There's no doubt about it, though. Lava Clone did take a small step back from where it was last meta, especially last month towards the end of the month. Lava Clone was everywhere. Now, the annoying deck of the meta seems to be P.E.K.K.A. P.E.K.K.A does seem to be everywhere after the nerf that ended up being a buff, which is really weird, right? Anyway, we do get to that left tower with that balloon death damage, taking it down to 1814. Now we have a Lava Hound coming in the right lane. 7 elixir, make it 4 elixir now after the Baby D is landed by the opponent. Let's see if they clone here, or if they just let this push kind of die. They actually go in with a Lumberjack. It's going to be a nice rage opportunity here. They clone now, but Giant Skeleton's going to do a good job. Nice timing on that Giant Skeleton. Are we going to use nado here? We're going to use Zap instead, but still, we take a lot of damage, man. That's the power of Lava Clone, right? It just does, even if you defend fairly well, like that situation, it can just do 1,000 damage like nothing onto your tower. So here we go. We're set up with the Goblin Cage on defense again. Lava Hound coming in the right lane. And, you know, 45 seconds left here in this match. The question begs itself right here. How do we get damage? Are we going to focus on the right tower, try to counter push here? Looks like that's what Faust is going to do. He's not even going to go in on the left side right now. So Clone comes down a little bit early from the opponent. We go ahead and we nado everything together. Going to be able to have a little bit of an easier time defending here in double elixir time. We do get that Goblin Brawler on the right tower for a couple swings. Now bats are down. We're playing the Goblin Cage here to essentially tank for our baby dragons, which are our most important defensive card, along with the Icewiz nado combo here in this matchup. So again, here comes the nado, excuse me, and the defensive miner again, showing the importance of the defensive miner against cards like Lumberjack in that situation. So now we get a Baby D and that miner onto the right tower. Just like that, the tower's down to 938. And 593 from the opponent. The opponent does not have a big spell, so let's see how they play this one out here. Skarmy comes down the right lane. We have Baby D on Baby D there in the right lane. Tower does latch onto that Baby Dragon. Now we play a Giant Skeleton at the bridge. Here comes a balloon as well. Man, this could be tower bye-bye, right? Let's see what the opponent does here. Flying Machine. Faust gives the good game. Snowball comes down. Balloon is very healthy. To the tower. GG's, man. So at the end there, Giant Skeleton at the bridge, balloon, nothing the opponent could do. A nice heads-up play there by Faust, and that's something, honestly, you guys can do too when you face Lava Clone, especially in double elixir time. Go in with that aggressive Giant Skeleton balloon at the bridge. After they play the Lava Hound, there's really no way they can defend that push, so very well played there by Faust, and he's already into his next match. No editing required. You demand, Faust. You demand. So match number 11 here against Kitasian. I feel like I'm saying some sort of a swear in another language. So, another Flying Machine sighting. What world are we living in? Usually we're used to only seeing Flying Machine in Lava Clone decks, but this is probably not a Lava Clone deck. But, oh, unfortunate with that Goblin Cage there. But the Flying Machine does inch closer to the tower, putting it in range of the... Oh! It's the clone deck, right? It's another clone deck, but it's Giant Skeleton. What does he have? Witch in this deck as well? I shared this deck, actually, like 3 days ago. Way to go, Ash. But again, it's early in the morning. I'm going to use this as an excuse for everything that I say. So clone is definitely meta? Clone comes down right there. A nado comes down. We're not going to pull all of those skeletons. We're going to have to zap to clean up, but overall, decent defense there, especially considering we're just trying to wait to get to double elixir time. This deck is like the first meta Giant Skeleton clone deck in the game, the one that we're going against right now. And it's really powerful right now. It's winning all kinds of grand challenges. In case you missed the video that I did on it, it's a unique, fun deck to play. It's really annoying to face, but it's really fun to play. One of those type of decks. So give it a try if you guys missed that video. I'll include it in the link below in the show notes. So here we go. It's going to be a Goblin Cage setup, not willing to take that Fire Spirit damage in the right lane. Here comes Cannon Cart by the opponent. So we have Giant Skeleton in hand here. We're going to use our Giant Skeleton. Probably a good time to do so. He doesn't know we have Giant Skeleton yet, and there we go. We play Giant Skeleton. Goblin Brawler goes opposite lane. We have nado back in hand to clean this all up nicely, pull everything into our Giant Skeleton. Well, I guess his Giant Skeleton bomb, right? But it doesn't really matter. We're not going to take any damage there. But our tower is down to 17-17, so the opponent does have the slight advantage in terms of damage. We're going to go ahead and use that Ice Whiz cycle to the left lane, again identifying the fact the opponent does not have a big spell inside their deck. Here comes a big push from the opponent. Oh boy, it's going to be Cannon Cart, Witch, and Giant Skeleton. We have a Giant Skeleton of our own here, so this whole push is going to be largely mitigated just by the giant bombs of the Giant Skellies in the left lane. Boom! There's one Giant Skeleton bomb, and boom, there's the other, unfortunately for us. Cannon Cart, the second iteration of the Cannon Cart, does stay alive long enough to finish off that Ice Wizard, so essentially we wasted a zap there. Oops comes down from Faust as we go about 5 seconds or so away from sudden death overtime. So here comes a Baby D. This one could go deep into OT. It's really going to be one giant push from one of these players that eventually takes down the other one's tower. Is that Captain Obvious for you? It's going to be one push that eventually wins this game, ladies and gentlemen, or it's going to be a draw. There you go. Look no further for your pro commentary. That was actually a nice Goblin Cage, pulls everything into, or keeps everything onto that Giant Skeleton bomb. Again, able to defend our tower pretty well there. We have not played a balloon yet. 3.5 minutes into the match. I take that back. Here comes our first balloon play of the match. We do have nado in hand. Let's see if we use it here. He uses nado first. Are we going to respond with a nado of our own? We are not. Balloon lands on that furnace. Nice non-nado situation there. We're going to make sure we have enough elixir for the Giant Skeleton and the Ice Whiz. The opponent goes opposite lane here, but that's fine. We have Goblin Cage in cycle. Goblin Cage responding to that Cannon Cart, going to do a good job stopping that Cannon Cart in a 5-for-4 trade. We do take some serious skeleton damage in the left lane, excuse me, though, and that was not very good. We have Ram Rider emote coming out. Here comes Balloon left lane. We have a Miner going in as well, going to tank for that Balloon and the Baby D. nado comes down, and again, nice nado, nice Furnace. Furnace is going to go do a good job of kind of kiting that Balloon away from the tower. Death damage lands on the Furnace, not on any of the troops or the tower. So here we go again. Giant Skeleton responding to this huge, massive clone push. nado comes down a little bit early on that nado, but it's okay. Ice Whiz lives to clean up those skeletons again. Here we go, right lane this time with a Baby D and a balloon push. Nice heads up push here by Faust, realizing that Witch is one of the main cards the opponent has been using, so comboed the Baby D with the balloon. This time he does have nado in hand. He's going to use it last second there, barely gets that nado down in time. About 1 minute and 5 seconds or so remaining here in sudden death overtime. At this point, I feel like it's Faust's match to lose here. Here comes a big push. We're gonna drop a balloon, of course we are. So a balloon comes down. Let's see what we can do here. Everything's targeted onto the Giant Skeleton here. We send in a Miner, getting a little bit of chip damage there. Zap comes down. Balloon death damage will land on that tower along with some Miner chip damage, taking the tower down to 244, guys. One more Miner could do the trick. We have to defend this first, though. This could be issues. Oh boy, clone comes down. nado comes down. Ice Whiz putting in some work. Uh-oh. We need some. Okay, Baby D's gonna clean up there. Saving a little bit of elixir. Heads up play there. Saving some elixir. We need a Miner. Miner's gonna be on the nice Miner placement there, guys. And tower's down. 18 seconds left. GG's Faust. What a beast. That sneaky Miner location. Nobody predicts that Miner location. If you need to land a Miner, go ahead and put it on the inside there so it's in range of the other tower, because no opponent, unless they're like a pro player in CRL, is going to expect you to do that. And again, no wait here. What a smooth video. Going for win number 12 here is Faust. So you like this deck, guys? I think a lot of you are going to like it, and it's weird. The Lumberjack Balloon kind of cycle decks, they're no longer as strong as they used to be after the Lumberjack nerf, and for whatever reason, there's just more, it seems like decks are more able to deal with them defensively, but this is a good alternative if you're looking for a balloon deck. I think this is one of the strongest balloon decks out there in the game right now, alongside maybe Balloon P.E.K.K.A. Freeze, or a little bit of an off-meta variant like the Animan deck or something like that. Anyway, here we go with a Miner there to start things off. Dark Prince in response by the opponent here, almost a minute into this contest. So we're going to respond with the Giant Skeleton here in the right lane. See what the opponent has. Obviously, it's some sort of a bridge spam deck. Speaking of P.E.K.K.A., probably going to be a P.E.K.K.A. deck that we're facing here. Nice job clogging the lane with the Giant Skeleton. It's funny how the Giant Skeleton is really, this is the closest Giant Skeleton's ever been to meta inside the game, guys. It's pretty insane. Giant Skeleton Bomb takes care of that bandit. Now Brawler's going to be rather healthy there, marching into the left lane. Here comes a E-Wiz to respond to. Ice Wiz on our end as well. Halfway through regulation in this match. Obviously, it's a P.E.K.K.A bridge spam deck. Baby D cycled in the back, and here comes P.E.K.K.A. And we go Balloon right into that P.E.K.K.A, realizing he doesn't have E-Wiz in hand. He does have minions. Are we going to nado here? We do nado, pull everything into the Baby Dragon. That's going to allow that Balloon to score 1 hit and death damage onto that tower. Nice job nice job cycling that Baby Dragon in the back, realizing that he probably had minions, and then nadoing everything together. Now we have enough elixir left on defense for that Giant Skeleton to take care of this push. Of course, the new P.E.K.K.A's HP, no match for the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb. Now we have to set up for a big defense here. Look at the elixir differential right now, guys. But the Bandit cycled rather non-aggressively in the back by the opponent. That might have been a mistake. They go with a P.E.K.K.A instead in the back in the left lane. Let's see how we handle this. It looks like we're going to go all out in the right lane here. Again, very noteworthy, forcing a poison out of the opponent. They go in with the E-Wiz, and they're able to defend on the rather cheap there, 8 elixir defending, and they go with a battle ram as well. We have a Goblin Cage, and we have the Giant Skeleton for that P.E.K.K.A as well in the left lane. We need to concentrate on the right lane, though, with a Dark Prince coming down. But hey, defensive miner again, acting as that knight in this deck. Again, Giant Skeleton Bomb taking care of the P.E.K.K.A there in the left. 5 seconds here remaining in regulation, and we go in with another aggressive Baby Dragon Balloon push, forcing a poison out of the opponent. Here comes E-Wiz. E-Wiz is down. Baby D's going to finish off that E-Wiz. We don't get a hit, though, on that right tower. We will get some death damage, basically evening out the damage a little bit onto the opponent's tower. Still a rather unhealthy tower on the left, but we do have the damage advantage, showing again the defensive prowess of this deck, guys. The fact that both of our towers have not really even been touched here in this contest, about 3 minutes and 30 seconds in it. So here we go again, gonna cycle a miner defensively in the back right. Here comes a P.E.K.K.A in the right for the opponent. That means it's gonna be Giant Skeleton and Balloon here. So what do they have for this, guys? They're gonna kite that Giant Skeleton. Ice Wiz is gonna, forcing an E-Wiz on the Ice Wiz. We're not gonna get to the tower. We will get some death damage, though. Again, trying to make sure he has enough elixir left to defend against this rather aggressive bridge spam deck. So doing a good job not overcommitting on offense. He'll take what he can get, even if that means just some death damage. Now he's going to use that defensive miner again. We get a couple swings there with that Brawler on the left tower, taking it down to 6-6-4, guys. Things are looking pretty good here again. We haven't taken really any damage onto our towers. Here comes an aggressive kind of Hail Mary P.E.K.K.A in the right lane. We're going to pull everything with the Goblin Cage, and then vis-a-vis the Goblin Cage, we're going to pull the P.E.K.K.A into the Giant Skeleton. Very well played there on defense. Yeah, good luck to the opponent, man. There's no way he can win this match, especially with Faust unwilling to overcommit on the offensive end, always saving enough elixir to defend. So here we go again. Zap comes down. I think that's going to be good game here, guys. And it is. Faust wins again. Undefeated video. What a beast, ladies and gentlemen. Man, Faust, well played. Well played, sir. So guys, if you weren't a believer of this deck going into the video, hopefully coming out of the video, you are a believer of this. It's a super effective, super strong deck, and I think that you guys, like me, probably took a lot away from the gameplay of Faust. Really, this is why we do pro tips here on the channel, so we can learn a deck, see his habits, and try to mimic those for ourselves inside the arena. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. A huge shout out to Faust. Check out his player stats and profile in his Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow there on Twitter. Everything will be in the show notes below, along with the deck link, like we have every single video. Shout out to Stats Royale and to Bren Chong, my YouTube partners. Check out their information as well. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.